Okay, we're going to take a look at the structure which is at the back of the Sphinx, like I said we were going to do. And by the way, I've got myself a new camera now. It's a Sony 9 megapixel with a super zoom on it. Right, this is the so-called Sphinx temple, and just like, let's say, 80% of the megalithic structures around Giza, Egypt, is built from rubble from superstructures. Rebar superstructures, and metals and glass and plastics and things that's been submerged in deep water from various floods and being hit with, like I showed in the last video, similar things to what happened at Sodom and Gomorrah, and turning things into rock and soft rock and ash and things like that. Okay, which is what this stuff is. These blocks are huge, and that's what they are blocks. These have obviously been done with either technology or by giants, right? This Sphinx temple around this area is just literally built from rubble, from what I am going to show you. And look at it. I mean, this is not sediment, mainstream archaeology, geology bullshit sediment. This is literally, right, the shape of the structure what I'm going to show you, and it's turned to this material. Okay, just like this. This is a new image. Most of these images in here are newer. I don't like showing you images I've shown you before over and over again. This is rubble, alright? These are not ancient blocks to build a wall. This is rebarring structures, right? Rebar, metal, steel, iron, and then they pour concrete, just like we do today, just like any super advanced civilization does, because it's cheaper and faster to build and strong in the short term, right? And then obviously their main structures they would have built with, high precision tools and, high grade materials. But just like we do today, we build with rebar structures, right? This is a bridge in modern times that's fallen down because of the rebarring, or iron pillars have rusted away and it falls down, and it just looks, these are blocks and whatever, and it just looks like Egypt. This is a bridge, an aging bridge that's built from rebar, iron, and they pour concrete in it, which is how we build our dams, things on large scale, motorway bridges. This is Egypt, right? And this is rubble from superstructures falling down. Look at it. It's exactly the same as the last image I've just shown you, and look at the edge. This will have been concrete always. This will have been some type of metal that has now been leached. It's leached the lime in this and turned to stone. These ends, these circle bits, are even hexagon shapes. There could have actually have even been bolts of some type. They are hexagon shapes put into this. This is the image that I've been waiting to show you when I get a new camera. I want you to look at the imprints of what we're looking at here, because that's all you're left with. It's rust, mud, imprints of high technology, rail systems, maglev, whatever. But look at those imprints, because this is gone, it's destroyed, taken away, like most artifacts in Egypt that don't agree with their paradigm bullshit. This is a very important image. I want you to listen and watch carefully to what I'm showing you here, right? I have done rebar videos before, right? Nobody else does. But this is the so-called Sphinx temple at the side of what the video's about. And I want you to look at this area here, yeah? Because this was a rebar structure made out of high-grade metal and the pouring of concrete, or it was all metal and then it got buried in sediment, rusted away, and you're left with the imprint. Look, and this one is in a diagonal. Look there, watch there, yeah, diagonal rebar structure like diamond shapes, and all you're left with is the imprint. Okay, this image is extremely important. Right, this is obviously the Sphinx. This is what the video is about. This here, we're going to kill two birds with one stone here. We're going to figure out what this is, what it could have been, right? But we're also going to destroy mainstream peer-reviewed geology completely, right? But what I'm showing you in this image is what's on the floor there. If you can imagine an iron bridge, yeah, they are built from huge 50 like diamond shaped, triangle shaped plates, yeah, and then there's a hole that they're bolted into. I'll zoom in for you. Just there, and it was buried. It will have been taken away now, because that's what these are. Okay, I'll get into that in a second. This, I've drawn the shapes of steel, iron plates that are that shape, and they are here. These images are on my Google page again. I won't delete them. I want you to go look at them to confirm what I'm talking about. You know, again, don't believe what I say. Check out my images, every video I make, to confirm what I'm talking about. This is an iron bridge, right? And the shape that I've just shown you is what I'm getting at. So imagine this being caught in a great flood, one of, and being submerged in mud or whatever, and it would fill these gaps in but leave the shapes. These, I've told you before, mainstream geology saying that this entire plateau is natural. Yes, I'm telling you, they say that this is all like this in all directions, and that the Sphinx has been carved out of this natural formation. And I'm saying it's not a natural formation at all, right? And they won't excavate the other side of this because it will completely destroy mainstream geology. This, I've shown you before, the shapes like eggs or helmets, and they are very uniform, like helmets. And then there's a hole, right? All of them. Yes, some of them have been weathered a little bit, but it's mainly from being sank in mud. And then look, that shape that was on the floor is these areas here. Yes, here. And there's a hole, and they're bolted into position. Look, to confirm what I'm talking about. Can you see that remnant of a bolt there? This is not a natural formation. When you go check my images, I want you to look down here and you will see circle shapes and all sorts of strange things. This is that formation, because I am saying that this was a superstructure, right? I'm talking about a multi-layered motorway or rail system is what I'm talking about. Geology says that all this is natural and that this has been carved out. They will never excavate this side or that's up there, because if they do, like I've said, it can't be natural, can it? And the other thing I want to tell you is that it's hollow. These are hollow. There's an hole there. Think about that one. Why are they hollow? Right? I've just shown you them looking like steel plates and rebar structure. This was a bridge, motorway system, whatever. And this Sphinx was part of it. And it's falling down. This is it in an old image, and I'm saying that this is multi-layered. This looks like a circle. It's like a big roundabout, okay? And it was lifted up on huge pillars, which I'm going to show you. The Sphinx temple is built from rubble. These are those things that are destroyed, taken away now, that look like the tops of houses, you know, chimneys. What I think's happened here is that this area here, from a various era, these are actually the layouts here, the foundations of these. These have been completely blown away in a flood, and these are the tops of the houses. Half of them are laid on the sides, okay? That's why this area has been taken away. That pyramid doesn't exist anymore. This is one of those artifacts I've just been showing you, right? And they are houses or the remnant of skyscrapers. You know, like when the Twin Towers came down and there was girders still sticking up. That's what you're looking at. This is not sand. It's 100% erosion of concrete and rebar structure. Look at it. This is the area that we're going to be looking at. These are pillars that held these roads up. There could be multiple layers under this, but these are pillars, right? Which I showed you at the start. You can see the remnant of steel. This is concrete. There's another one there, and this sat on top of it, okay? Something like this, yes, and the road sat on top of it. This area here, I'm going to zoom in here for you. Right, watch this. This is the back of the Sphinx. These have snapped. They've been blown over in whatever event. The metal has bent, rusted away, and this road fell on top of it. This was off the ground at one time, or literally this was a lake. You know, like we build bridges across lakes, across rivers, but we put pillars into the sediment, is what you're looking at. There's two of them. They've fallen over. This has fallen on top of it. There are other roads in Egypt, huge things, right? This was once all concrete. Don't know how far it goes down, but this is lime. All the lime has ran out of it, creating a very hard surface. Another civilization has come and tried to encase it in blocks, right? But I don't know how long ago that was, because look at it. This one leads into nowhere, which I've said before. This is eroded cities. This is not sand, it's sand from concrete and half of it's lime, and it creates a hard surface. That's what this is.